Huh. There's like a light on my camera. Oh, I'm streaming again. Hi. Welcome back. Alright, that was a little bit there, but, well, it has been a while, hasn't it? Anyway, welcome back. And welcome to Minecraft. Um, so, first of all, where are we? You can see that we're in 116, because I've got netherite armor. Um, well, we aren't on a multiplayer server. We're on a single-player world. And, yeah, well, let me show you what I've been doing. Yeah, so, let's see, we'll come over here, we'll get a better view of the main area here. So this is something that I've been doing just in my, just because I've been bored. And it's, you know, it's not pretty, it's not a builder's world, it's not designed very well. In fact, it's not very efficient either, because like I'm still manually doing a lot of stuff that I could probably have farms for, but this is what I've been spending my time on. Way too much time. In fact, let's see. Time played 9.47 days. Now some of that is AFK, but still, it's been a long process. And obviously I've got the beacon over there. We're trying to tear down another 101 by 101 square there, so I have more space in my massive bedrock base. And like, I see no reason to stop doing this to the world. Like, just get all the resources and all the ores and make a whole bunch of extra space. Eventually we won't have mob spawning. You know, you can see on the mini-map that there's a bunch of mobs like over here somewhere, which means that my mob farm over here is not as effective as it could be, which is annoying. But yeah, let's take a look at some of this stuff. And, you know, basically I'm just going to play and see what happens. I mean, probably do some digging, maybe expand some of these farms. But so I actually started over here. So this is 0, and I put my starter house right here. And yeah, I just dug out underneath it and eventually tore down what was above me and put everything down here. Once I got a beacon, obviously it was a lot faster to kind of finish this whole area off. Excuse me 1 second. It's gonna take a minute. Alright, come on now. What is this? There we go. Had to surprise it. Alright, so yeah, now on the bedrock you know, on the bedrock floor, we've got over here we got the crop farms. These are all manual, of course. Too high space, so there's no jumping. You can't trample these. Glowstone for lighting, glass above. I use the glass mostly because I think there's something in the mob spawning algorithms that looks for solid blocks. If you have solid blocks, then it interferes with them. So I try to use as few solid blocks down here as I can, which is why I've got glass over the villagers and trapdoors instead of solid block walls. These villagers are kind of starter ones, and I lost my farmer for some reason. I'm not sure what happened to him, but we do have Mending, Silk Touch, Unbreaking 3, and Efficiency 4. So I can basically make good pickaxes, good shovels if I need to. Over here, we've got my zombie spawner. This is the first XP farm that I made on the world. Obviously, it's relatively slow as spawners go for XP. So there is a skeleton spawner, if we go up here. Right here in the middle of where I'm trying to mine out right now. This is the skeleton spawner room. And that's a similar setup. Basically, it's just a bunch of water siphoning them into a single location. And then this tower here is a cactus farm. Folks who've been watching me a while probably know my cactus farm design. We did this on the follower server some time ago. Just glass panes with single solid block. Those could probably be glass now that I'm looking at it, actually, but sand, cactus. Cactus grows, it breaks off. Most of the time, it doesn't get caught on the glass panes on the way down to the water at the bottom that collects it, but sometimes it gets caught. That's okay. It's not lossless. It doesn't have to be. And this is easy to expand because you just keep going upwards with the same design. In theory, it would be better. It would be more lossless, I guess is the word, if we had collection under each level. But it would be a lot more resource intensive and a little bit more complicated to build. And then you probably saw over here we've got a simple sugarcane farm. This is currently 3 levels, and I think it's 12 wide. This is something that I definitely need to expand because it's okay, but I could use more librarians, and yeah, that's a good source of emeralds usually. In fact, getting emeralds, I've been using the zombie spawner to get rotten flesh, which is not super efficient. Over here we got kind of the utility area, just random storage here. I don't have a lot of shulker shells yet. I've been to the end, I think, 1 time to get, like, an elytra. And did I even get a spare elytra? No, that'd be too easy. But a fair number of shulker boxes here, and some spare shulker shells in here. Yeah, not a lot else going on here, really. Nothing really remarkable there. Over here, we've got a bunch of spare tools. I've got this one waiting for netherite. Obviously, getting netherite is a bit of a hassle. Oh, I do have spare elytras. That's good. What was I on about? Right. Yeah, getting netherite is really a pain, and I can show you my nether in a minute here, but it's really nothing special yet. I haven't, like, built anything. But yeah, I kind of pile up diamond pickaxes here before I upgrade them, and I do have a fair number of ultimate pickaxes, so 6 total silk touch pickaxes, and then 1 fortune 3 pickaxe that they're all netherite and fully enchanted. Over here we've got a basic XP bank. I just set this one up, and I'm waiting for enough cactus to run this one. I think I need 15 stacks is what I worked out roughly for a full netherite tool repair. So I just need, what is this, 55 more cactus, and then we'll be good to go. But yeah, it's very similar to what we've done in the past. We've got a chest down here that starts with 1 cactus, or 1 green dye in it, and then 17 filler items, so that you can fit 10 stacks minus 1 item in here. And you can fit 5 stacks in this hopper, which means that 15 stacks go in minus 1 item. The 1 item sits in there at the end. And that's what's happening here. Here, you can see that these are full. Very simple design, similar to some of the stuff that, like, Uzuma has done, but he did a much more automated system, and I just can't be bothered. And then this is the main mining storage input, basically. I've got a whole bunch of inputs here so that I can pile things up and just kind of let them sort through on their own time. We've got, you know, all the stone types, dirt, like diggy stuff. For some reason, obsidian, I don't know why I have that in there, but I am going to have to dig through a fair amount of obsidian once I get down to lava level here, because there's a ravine there that I had turned a bunch of lava into obsidian on. Obviously, I'd prefer to just destroy the lava rather than turn it into obsidian and mine it, because mining obsidian takes forever. But yeah, all the ore types. We've even got diamond ore in here, so there's 41 in the filter, and then a stack in 16 here. And we do have diamonds. I think about a stack of diamonds over in the chests over there. But a whole bunch of ores here. Coal ore is getting a little bit ridiculous at this point. I might have to do a coal ore mining session soon. It's a good way to repair tools, though. And I just put iron ore through the smelter over here. It's not exactly a super smelter, but at least it's a blast furnace going through my ores, and you can see plenty of iron ore there. And I don't really need iron ore, because, like, I've got a bunch of iron ingots right here, and I don't have an iron farm either. Like, this is all mined. Same with this, though the gold ingots do come from the nether gold ore as well these days. Speaking of, I think there's another 64 excuse me, over here. So yeah, this is all, you know, naturally, organically mined. Gotta love it being organic, but yeah, this is what we're looking at basically for resources. Obviously, coal is something I can get anytime with that 2 full double chests plus 2 full hoppers plus a little bit extra coal ore. Lapis, you know, it's hard to get through all that. Redstone, all this stuff. We got a fair amount of everything. Fair amount of nether quartz ore too. This mostly comes from mining for netherite because I just do a too high, basically bacon mine, and I'll show you that in a minute. Glowstone's hard to come by because I'm using it for lighting in the farm. I had to go and fly around the nether, and I didn't like that because I'm not good at it. Oh, right, over here we've got the, I still have vestiges of my old storage system. I'm kind of working up to making more sorters. I think I might do some of that today here with you guys on stream. If we can get like all of these mob drops sorted automatically, that'd be really cool. But you need something like, I do like 10 double chests, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Times 2 is 20, so that's 20 chests. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hoppers. Per item, which is a total of 33 chests, which is 66 logs, I believe, per each item. And it's not like I have a tree farm either. Like, if we come over here, you can see the vestigial storage for organic stuff. And I do have a fair number of logs, mostly just because I went and tried to get enough of them to sort each type. It looks like I'm running a little bit low on some of them, but yeah, we've got enough saplings and enough logs to sort through each type if we want to. I don't know why I have these. But yeah, mostly I think the barrier to me doing the sorters is just wanting to do it. And I do have, by the way, I'm only putting in mining stuff here at the moment because if I put anything else in, like anything that I don't dig out of the ground specifically, it just gets thrown into lava. So if I put like diamonds in there, it would just go into lava, which I don't want. So we're not going to do that. And then over here we've got the mob farm. It's a simple canal-based system, 1 layer, nothing complicated. I put the campfires down just because I was sick of having mob noises over here all the time. There's no anti-spider mechanism, which is kind of annoying because clearly they get picked up and they stay in there and take up the mob cap. Every once in a while I'll have witches at the bottom with fire resistance potions in hand, so I can't do anything about that, but yeah, I like that mob farm. It's a nice little passive income. And then over here we got peaceful mobs. I don't have sheep yet, mostly because I just couldn't be bothered. But I do have a fair number of cows, pigs, and chickens, which every once in a while when I need food, I go over and breed them up and kill some. Really not something that I spend a lot of my time doing, though. So yeah, that's kind of the tour. And obviously you saw over here the big dig, the big project right now is just digging this out. We'll get into that, I think, a little bit. Oh, I was going to show you all the nether. I forgot. So I have put this nether portal at, you know, the bedrock floor in the nether to match the bedrock floor in the overworld. And then you can see here, this is my first kind of branch mine for netherite. And then over here, I found a little bit more success. So this is a big nether waste biome. And you can see I've been digging it out a fair bit to try and find netherite. And it's been working okay. Obviously, I have full netherite armor, netherite tools for pretty much everything, and all that jazz. But it definitely is a long process, and like if we look at it, right? So we're here, and uh, where's my? Oh, so north is back to the home portal. So we started digging probably somewhere around here, and we kind of keep out this direction. But there's only so much nether waste, and like if you get into the Soul Sands Valley, it gets a little tricky. If we get under this lava lake, it gets a little tricky to keep mining. Um, and I haven't even explored like the Crimson Forest or the Warp Forest yet. Like I can see that there's a couple of them on the map here, but yeah, I haven't managed to get there yet. How can I fly out of here? This is gonna be interesting. If I can just find... That'll work. But yeah, like I said, I haven't done a lot in the Nether yet. It's mostly just sitting here and being mined out when I need it. But I'd like to do something similar to what I'm doing in the overworld. Mine it out, get basically a perimeter going so that I can do whatever I need to do. Really no reason to not. And probably I should move this portal onto 0-0. Like, there's no reason not to have it at 0-0. I did get it, like I said, I think I went to the end, got the Elytra, obviously, got the dragon killed, but I haven't done anything there really either. Like, there's no farms, there's no ender, nothing like that. Anyway, that's, yeah, like I said, that's the tour, basically. So, with that, on to the business at hand. First of all, what time is it? Oh, plenty of time. So let's do a little bit of digging, because that's basically what I do in this world. Like, this is what this world is for. So what I like to do is do strips of 6 wide strips. I find that pretty much matches my inventory capacity, and I can do like 4 to 5 of them with a single pickaxe durability. So it works out pretty well. And then obviously, since I have the 6 pickaxes, I just kind of blow through all of them, and then start repairing them. And since we're on stream, I'll probably do skeleton grinding rather than zombie grinding for the repairs. But we are gonna sit here and repair some pickaxes, which should be fun. But while we're doing this, assuming I can focus on 2 things at once, or 3 things, because I also have music going, which isn't distracting at all. Let me turn it down a little bit. So I should talk about why I haven't been on Twitch recently. I'm sure if you've been following me for a while, you probably noticed I had been gone. There wasn't really any one thing that caused it, I think. Like, when was my last stream even? I'm not even sure I remember. Let me see if I can find out. So I have my downloaded streams. Properties. May? Like, beginning of May. So... well, possibly beginning of May. Possibly I'm wrong. Anyway. Yeah, so the reason that I've been gone for a while, let's talk about that. Or the reasons. So I think I talked about before I left that it's been a really rough time since the pandemic started, and it's isolation. It sucks, but I was isolated before. Mostly just I think anxiety brought on by it has really taken a toll on me and made me pretty exhausted just day to day. Like, it's been pretty rough. The additional and forced isolation doesn't help that, but yeah, it's not fun at all. Combined with that, and in an effort to kind of combat that anxiety and that isolation, like I've been doing a lot of socializing with my colleagues online, um, which has been lovely. I've had an opportunity to, do some board gaming, which is something that I don't do outside of the pandemic. Like, I don't have any people really who do board games, so in person at least. So it's nice to have people who are also forced to be away from their physical board game partners and do a virtual board game night. I've been playing bridge as well with some friends, and it's been a while since I played bridge in any real capacity, so that's been really fun. Contract bridge was something that I really loved in high school, and it's something that I've gotten a lot worse at, but it's something that I'm trying to learn a little bit as I go. Not really from a theory perspective, I think, but just from a I've played a bunch of this and I kind of understand what's happening, like just enough to be dangerous, that sort of thing. And then just kind of general chats. I actually found an online a way to do online karaoke, which has been lovely. But yeah, all of these additional kind of time slots, time investments, have definitely taken away from my ability to do other things that I love, like streaming. But yeah, Saturday is one of those times that I don't really have anything going on, so it was easy enough to hop on here. And once I found the motivation. And compounded on that, hold on a sec. So, compounding on that, just the anxiety and the fact that I had other things going on, I really didn't feel connected to what was going on the MC Legends server, which is why we aren't there now. We aren't on the MC Legends server if you're just tuning in. This is a single-player world. See, there's no tab screen. I have been thinking about making this a server just so I can have potentially a second account on here to AFK, but anyway, that's beside the point. But yeah, I didn't really feel connected to the MC Legends server very much. Like, this is something that I've talked about, when we were in season 1 of MC Legends. Like, it wasn't really a community. It was kind of like a bunch of people playing in a single player world, but that other people came in and accessed once in a while. But so, like, every once in a while I'd get HF or somebody on the server to come and hang out while I was doing something, but for the most part, like, we were all kind of doing our own thing, and there wasn't a lot of crossover. And it's similar in season 2, though, a little bit different. Like, at least we were closer together, but like, we weren't on at the same time. If I was streaming, nobody else was streaming most of the time. If I was online, maybe HF was, maybe a couple people were, but usually just one or two. It's like, it's not a big community at all, which makes it really hard to get motivated to contribute and be a part of it. Excuse me. And then I'm not sure at what point, but sometime in the past couple months, Stealth and I kind of had a knockdown drag out on Twitter, because it must have been like a month ago. It feels like that was about it. But there was a period where a bunch of Twitch folks were kind of getting dragged into a Me Too moment, kind of alongside a bunch of game developers and designers, game studio folks. And, well, Stealth retweeted something about being innocent until proven guilty from one of the people who had been either accused or was involved in, I don't know, creation. It's not really clear to me who this person was, but he and I had a long discussion about what it meant to believe survivors and what the terms innocent and guilty mean, and is really gross. So I haven't left Stealth's Discord. I haven't unfollowed him on anything, but I'm really not going out of my way to involve myself in his kind of orbit these days. Because, jeez, that was a really eye-opening experience, like a really, really clarifying discussion to have with somebody who, until that point, I thought was, a pretty supportive, like, woke dude. And, not so much. So that hasn't helped my motivation to come back to streaming, because, like, the major project that I was working on when I left was the MC Legends server, and trying to get established and kind of come up with what the new season was going to look like for me, that sort of thing. But I never really came back because I didn't feel like it was worth it. And it didn't stop at all that. There was, I'm kind of going out of order here, but obviously May 25th, after I'd already basically stopped streaming, but on May 25th, George Floyd was murdered, 4 miles from here, 4 miles from my house. And I went to maybe a couple of protests, like I wasn't at a lot, but just the reckoning with the hard reality of policing in the 21st century and racial disparity and so many other complex issues, reckoning with that in private but also in public as the rest of the state tries to come to grips with what just happened in Minneapolis. It was tiring, it was exhausting. And not just like I am not the person who normally has to deal with this. Like, this is something that I don't normally have to deal with, and I am privileged that I don't usually have to think about this sort of thing, but it's interesting to have a taste of how immensely tired a huge portion of our population is every day when they consider questions about what's going to happen when a cop pulls them over for having a tail light out or whatever it might be. And between asking myself those questions and thinking about what that meant for me personally, and attending protests and supporting protesters and talking about it with friends, family, strangers on the internet, it just took a lot out of me, and that certainly didn't help me coming back to streaming. So yeah, there's been a lot going on. And it's funny, like there's been a lot of coverage, a lot of chatter about different things here and there about what policing is, and should we get rid of the police department? Should we change what they are? Or should we and this is in Minneapolis mostly, but also somewhat in St. Paul. The political will to drastically change the police department, or whatever it might have been, in Minneapolis has apparently gone completely out the window, because it won't appear on the ballot anymore in November. The city council backed down. They decided they chickened out is what happened. They decided that they didn't want to have that particular fight right now for some reason. Like, this is the time to have the fight. It's ridiculous. And like I said, I'm here in St. Paul, Minnesota, capital city, in case you didn't know. And here, like, there's not even any discussion. I mean, maybe a couple of the city council members are talking about potentially reforming the police department, but not starting from scratch. Not for the most part. But far more prevalent in the public discourse is the rampant whataboutism. Like, wait a minute. Why are you mad about this violence? There was other violence. Why are you mad about somebody murdering a black man? Somebody smashed a store window. How dare they? Like, come on. Come on, guys. First of all, those aren't the same thing. Second of all, you can be mad about both things. I'm not, but you can be. And if your response to police shouldn't murder black people is, yeah, but protesters shouldn't smash shop windows, you are drastically misunderstanding the relative importance of those two things. So anyway, that's one of the rants. I did promise rants in the stream description, so I figured I'd get into it. But I'm sure I'll come up with more rants. I am certain that I will. Hold on. Fact. That's the wrong window. Yeah. Nothing going on. I'm gonna switch out the old pick. Is this the last one? No, I've got two more. You guys will have to let me know if you can see the music. It seems a little small to me. I added a little bit of a text panel to the stream description, or to the stream, like, I don't know what you even call that. The about panels, saying that I'm not going to put music in the streams anymore. It's just not worth it. Copyright, first of all, copyright is theft, and we'll get into that rant in a minute. But copyright law being the way it is, like, there's just no way to know what's copyrighted, what you have permission to use, what you don't. So I've decided that if you want to listen to music, you should listen to music. Which is why I'm not playing my music. You can play your music on whatever player you have. Just balance it however you like with the audio. If you don't want to listen to me, mute the stream. Go for it. And just play your music while I do my thing. But let me be clear about this. I'm not going to be playing the music. I'm not going to do it. Not least of all because, like, I don't know what you guys like. Like, when I started streaming, what I did was I copied, basically, what I saw a lot of other streamers and YouTubers doing and using kind of electronic music. I think I saw an iJevin video that I had a Pegboard Nerds song that I liked, and I started listening to that kind of genre and, like, Spotify suggestions based on that. And that was what I used for streaming, but I don't know if you guys like that. And it's not my favorite. Like, I like it fine, and I'll listen to it from time to time, but it's not really my primary thing. What was I saying? Right. So I'm just gonna listen to what I like to listen to, and then not worry about the copyright because it's not playing on the stream. That's how it works. That's how it works now. And yeah, I've got that little. If you look right here, you can see the title and the artist of what I'm listening to. So if you want to follow along, it might take you a little bit of fast typing, but you can probably do it with a little bit of work. Yeah, back to copyright. Since we're on a stream that has rants in the title, I might as well talk about it. Copyright is theft. So, just to let you know what copyright is, first of all. Copyright is a system that has kind of existed in legal theories for a while. Like, it hasn't been a universal law like common law has for, centuries and centuries, but it is something that has existed for a while. Um, I believe it probably arose out of um, the Renaissance era, something like that, with the printing press and all that. So I'd imagine that it doesn't date back to, the same era as like 13th century real estate Saxon law. Um, but it does date back a while. And in creating the American legal system, in the Constitution, there's a clause, something to the effect of Congress shall have the power to, for a limited time, reserve the exclusive use of their works, the works of artists or creators, whatever. Like basically the clause says you can create a copyright system and a patent system and a trademark system. Well, a trademark is different, but anyway. But in creating this, they said for a limited time, right? Well, in the 1700s, in the 18th century, and the 19th century, that was all well and good, but when it came to the 20th century and people had all of a sudden moving pictures and, animations and recorded music on a large scale, people started to get a little bit nervous because you could create something that would be essentially evergreen, not just a single work, but also kind of the concept that you're using. And a big reason for the way that copyright in particular evolved to the point where it is now, I think something like 95 or 96 years after a work is published, it becomes public domain, as opposed to the initial, I believe it was 5 or 6 years? Not even? The way that evolved largely revolves around the Walt Disney Corporation and their lobbyists. I mean, this is well documented. If you look at Steamboat Willie, the original Mickey Mouse cartoon, or one of the original Mickey Mouse cartoons, at least. I'm not sure if that was the original, but they put copyright on that, and they used Mickey Mouse, the character, in series, in like work after work after work, and then put him into short, like cartoon shorts, put him into movies, put him into TV series later, and all of this was certainly their right to do. Like, they had created this character and like they should use it, but they had lobbied to change the copyright system so that each time they updated the character, it extended the copyright. And they continually lobbied to extend the life of copyright as their copyrights began to expire. And like, they weren't the only ones doing this, obviously. Like, a lot of people were doing roughly the same thing. But a big part of it was just updating the characters, right? So that if you update Mickey Mouse, like, nobody can use Mickey Mouse now because he's been changed. Okay. So now I'm getting off topic, right? How is copyright theft? Okay. Well, let's begin where we just left off. Copyright was meant to be a limited time use, exclusive use, for an artist of their work. And then that work was meant to be in the public domain. So, by extending that limited use, which if it's 96 years, like, is that limited? I don't think so. I don't think any reasonable human being would call that a limited amount of time, because it's an entire lifetime. Like, there are works now today that will not be public domain in my lifetime. That's ridiculous. I'm 30 years old. In fact, probably the vast majority of copyrighted works will not, that are copyrighted now, will not become public domain in my lifetime. And again, I don't expect to live all that long. Not for any particular reason, mind you. Just I don't take care of myself. What was I on about? Right. But by extending this, limited time to 96 plus years, they're stealing from the public. Like, this is essentially a robbery of a public trust, namely the public domain, to line the pockets of large studios and record production companies. And how does that help anybody? It's amoral. In fact, it's specifically immoral. Because it's denying the public the use of important cultural work to further the discourse of our time, simply out of greed. It's ridiculous. I mean, think about this. If the original copyright, term was about 6 years, think about what music was coming out 6 years ago in 2014. I mean, 2014, that would have been what? Iggy Azalea starting out, Charlie XCX. I think Despacito was 2015, so I probably... No, wait, that was... Or was it later? I don't know. So, like, everything at that time and before, you could just use. You could just use it. Re-record it, remix it, use it on Twitch, on YouTube, on anything. It's free. And rather than having YouTube spending, YouTube and Twitch spending millions of dollars and millions of machine hours, like computational hours, trying to find copyright violations, like, they can probably focus on a much smaller problem set of trying to make their service better. It'd be much better. I feel like I'm digressing again, however. Oh, right, of course I am, because copyright has gotten so much more complicated than just a question of, what can you use this for and when. Like, now it applies to so many things that nobody ever thought of, would exist. For example, well, okay, obviously nobody who initially created the copyright system thought, oh, you know what they're going to do in the future? They're going to have magic boxes that hold music inside of them. And that music can be easily transmitted to anyone instantaneously. Nobody thought that would happen. So, obviously, it's a bad system for dealing with the realities of today. And, like, I'm sure Congress has tried to update the copyright system to work, but Congress doesn't really understand the internet either, so that doesn't give me a whole lot of warm fuzzies thinking about, oh, Congress is on the job. Like, please. And copyright not only applies to music, which is something that the framers of this law and the system would have had, knowledge of, at least. Like, they understand what music is. They might understand the concept of, like, a moving picture if you showed them, like, a flip book, something like that. And obviously they wouldn't understand the instantaneously transmittable part. But would they understand software? No. But copyright applies to software. And it makes it really difficult to do important things, especially as a computer scientist, as a software engineer. It basically causes complete wasted effort on solved problems because you can't use somebody else's solution because everything is copyrighted. And there are libraries and things that help you, find some of these solved problems, but for the most part, you're on your own. You gotta rewrite the entire thing. You gotta write the solution yourself. So it's not just theft of our public trust, our public domain, but honestly, theft of people's time. It's gigantic wasted potential. It's really disappointing. I mean, think of all of the people who have had to rewrite the same implementation of some algorithm or another. Think what they could have been doing instead. Society could have advanced so much further in that time. Not to say that there aren't other places where potential is definitely wasted. But this is one example, and it's the example that's the most germane to what I've been talking about, so I figured I'd get into it. I feel like I've been on this particular subject for a while. Maybe I should stop. I feel like I'm running out of topics, like things to say about it anyway. To check all of my indicators to make sure that I could still do another one before I had to like sleep or replace my pick. Alright. Oops. A little fast and loose here with the paying attention and stuff. Hang on. I'm still not quite used to that thing. I'm still trying to quit smoking. It's not going well. Being stuck at home a lot hasn't really helped. In fact, walking to the tobacco shop has been a really nice way to get outside. I'm sure it'll be less nice in the winter, so maybe I'll start working on that then. But yeah, I've still got the e-cig here. I'm still pretty happy with just the concept of it. Like, it helps me kind of stick around here in my office for longer periods of time when like I have social stuff going on, which I like. And it'll help me stay here longer. Though I might get up and stretch at say the top of the hours, or like each hour that I'm on stream, something like that. Oh, there's another thing for you. Actually, let me... No, I'm not going to do that. So I think something that I was doing maybe right as I stopped streaming, or maybe right after I stopped streaming. I'm not really sure. But I started kind of looking into other games. One of the things that I found was a young man playing a game called Mount Blade 2 Bannerlord, which is a relatively new release. I think they had it in beta fairly recently. I'm not sure if it's a final release yet, but yeah, I was watching this guy play Bannerlord. Mount Blade isn't a series that I had heard of before, so I looked at, the prequel, or the initial game, the first game, Mountain Blade, and then its kind of expansion pack, I guess, Mountain Blade Warband. And I found that I could play it on my machine, on my Linux machine. So I started playing that, and that was a gigantic time suck. I can't tell you how many... I probably could tell you how many hours I spent on that game, but it would probably be pretty embarrassing. But, like, I think I conquered the entire world 2 or 3 times. There's a serious bug in the Linux version, or in the SteamOS version, that can corrupt saves pretty easily, so I definitely lost a couple of saves with, like, 1,000 plus in-game days. Or 1,500 plus in-game days, something like that. But it was a lot of fun. I really like that game. I definitely recommend if you're into, like, kind of slash 'em up games, things like, I mean, like, one of the games that I really like of that sort of genre, or at least that makes me think of that game, is Dynasty Warriors. Now, Dynasty Warriors, it doesn't have kind of the strategy aspect that Mount Blade does, which is cool. But it's similar in, like, the combat gameplay, I think. 634, that's plenty, especially since I've got a cave here. Anyway, Mount Blade, yeah. So, yeah, really enjoyed that. And then there was another game I played called Volcanoids. And that's another kind of early access thing. But it's also available on SteamOS, on Linux, and whatever else SteamOS supports. And it's this steampunk open world game, which is pretty cool. But there's a real problem with calling it open world, I think, and it's this. So there's this constant threat from a volcano, right? And that's the whole premise of the game. Like, this volcano is always gonna blow up at certain intervals. And oh, hang on, I gotta manage my playlist here. Oh, right, that's in there. All right. Anyway, right. So, this volcano explodes at regular intervals, something like 35 minutes, depending on the difficult. I think 35 minutes is the easiest, and there's 25 minutes, 15, maybe, I don't know. But pretty frequently. And you have this basically land submarine. It's called a drill ship with a gigantic drill on the front. And you can put, like, different machines inside of it and kind of integrate it into the ship's systems, and it's very complex. But the resource gathering really relies on the volcano. And the whole point of the game is to basically stop the volcano from erupting. Now, you can see where I'm going with this, I think. So when you stop the volcano, like, you run out of resources. Like, there's no longer any resources for you to replenish. So you can't play the game anymore. Like, maybe you could play it for a little while, but eventually you're going to run out of coal, which powers your ship. I think they said that they were going to add, like, solar panels, which would be pretty cool, but it's only going to help so much. Like, you're still going to need coal when you're underground. But, yeah, it seems a little silly to me to call it an open world game when, like, a true open world game means you can just play it forever. I mean, maybe you could play it forever with the volcano erupting, but if you want to ever progress, you really have to go through the entire story. Like, you can't improve your ship and not progress through the story. So, I don't see how it's open world at all. Like, seriously, okay, this is the other thing. If you're going to call something an open world game, there shouldn't be a specific gate that you have to pass through in order to get an upgrade. Like, you should, if you can find a particular resource, you should be able to use that resource and do the upgrade. But there's this, I don't even know how to describe, like, I guess maybe you don't need to follow the main story path in order to get through these gates, these, like, technology gates, but you do have to go through these quests that tell you, okay, I'm going to, it'll say, like, okay, go find this particular kind of enemy drill ship, and these drill ships, they're piloted by robots. So you kill a bunch of robots, and you probably die a couple times yourself, because the robots, at least at first, they're difficult to deal with. But you bring, you're decked out like Rambo. You bring a whole bunch of grenades and ammo and different kinds of guns. And you kill all these robots, and you steal all of their technology, including basically scrap from their hull. And using the scrap and the various other things that you manage to salvage from these drill ships, these enemy drill ships, you then research your own ability to create the same thing. So you have to find the thing in order to make the thing, right? Kind of makes sense. Fair enough. But that means you're forced to do combat. So there's no such thing as a pacifist run in this game unless you somehow manage... No, actually, that's not possible. There's no such thing as a pacifist run. You can't choose to be a pacifist. Which is fine. I mean, not every game has to have a pacifist, you know, mode. It might be nice. But it means that you're basically gated. You have to go through each of these little things, each of these levels of research and levels of combat against these different levels of ships before you can really do anything in the end game. Which again, I don't necessarily have a problem with, but it's very frustrating. Where did I start this particular thing? I feel like I had a point. Oh, I was just talking about random games I'm playing, right? Okay, well, let's talk about more. So I tried... What did I try? I tried something called... I tried a stupid mobile game called Shop Titans. Shop Titans is actually pretty impressive. I mean, they have a lot of, like, paywalled content, but if you're just playing the free game, it's surprisingly good. And there's no ads. At least as far as I could tell. Maybe I just have some setting turned on somewhere. But it's just like a fun, kind of grindy game. It's actually really nice. The one thing I didn't like is there seems to be like a difficulty finding kind of multiplayer in it. Like, you can play on a multiplayer level. Like, they have guilds, I think is what they're called. But, like, you have to have, you know, a couple of different people, and you basically benefit each other by investing your shared resources together and doing quests and getting bonuses and so on. And the first couple of guilds I was in, like, the first one was just completely inactive. Nobody else was doing anything, so I left. And I found this other one that seemed to have a few active people, but the guild master was inactive, so we couldn't do anything with the benefits that we were trying to get together. Like, we were just stuck. I had nothing. So I made my own guild. I was like, okay, well, at the very least, if I'm active, I can use the benefits for the guild. But that means that I am now, you know, miles behind any active guild, even an inactive guild with a bunch of investments. Like, I don't have any of the benefits I would get from having multiple people around, because I'm the only person in my guild. But as a matter of principle, I think it was a good thing. Yeah, so that's Shop Titans. I'm not active on it anymore. Maybe that's hypocritical of me, I don't know. But nobody has ever joined my guild, so it's not like I care. What else? What else? Hey, Tibbs, how's it going? Good to see you too, man. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been ranting about that into the void for a bit. Sorry, I haven't been watching you either, man. It's yeah, been a weird stretch of time here. I'm doing okay though. I'm starting to find a little bit of balance in life. Not a lot of balance, but a little bit. How have you been? Oh gosh, this is way over here. Every entity is sacred. I mean, it's gonna get destroyed by lava anyway, but... Homework. Well, home is fine. I mean, my house is a mess. But plus ça change, plus c'est la même chose. Work is fine. We've been our fiscal years at work kind of lie on the June-July boundary. So we just closed our last fiscal year last month, and we're in the throes of starting a new one. So there's a lot of like planning and review and compensation adjustments, promotions, and stuff that we've kind of been having to do paperwork for. But that's starting to come to a close now. It's taken a while, but we're getting there. And I feel comfortable saying this because you can, with probably one Google search, figure out where I work and and see the financial reports of as recently as I think 2018 of that organization. So this is not a secret. No, this is on a single-player world, actually. I talked a little bit about this earlier. I'm kind of not going to come back to the Legends server. At least I'm not planning to. Partly just because I felt like it wasn't terribly well organized, and partly because Stealth and I had a bit of a tiff about well, about something. I already got into it. I'm not going to get into it again. But yeah, this is just a single player world that I've been grinding on for probably 4 weeks now. Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. That was sad. I remember that because I woke up and I was like, oh shoot, they're doing it now? What? I was as confused as you were. That sucked. But yeah, case in point, not very organized. And like, it's such a small community, and despite the dream of having it be like for content creators, like there were never any content creators on there, really. Like there was me and Stealth, and then you joined for a couple of streams maybe, and then it's been nothing. Yeah, it's not worth the stress at all, not even slightly. I have been thinking about making this a multiplayer thing somehow. So I call this world GrindCraft, which I think you can see. Yeah, GrindCraft. And I thought it might be cool to have just like a server dedicated to just destroying everything. And what is this chest? Oh, right, it's garbage. Just kind of harnessing the resources of the world and making something gigantic and crazy. But I haven't figured out how I want to do it yet. I wonder if it's something I want to do with friends and family, or if it's something I want to do with randos on the internet, or some of the folks that I know from the Minecraft community. Not really clear yet. Yep, basically that's the plan. It's gonna take forever. And I've already done that with one, beacon area, but doing it solo, it takes a while, as I discovered on MC Legends Season 1. But yeah, this is grid square number 1 over here. We'll get a better look at it in a second when I put things in this order. And I kind of went through on a tour, but very briefly, this is the main mining sorter. So this just takes things dug up out of the ground. We got the crop farms over there, just 18 by 18 grids, 4 plots, 4 water sources, glowstone lighting, pretty simple. basic single tier canal-based mob farm. Various storage sitting everywhere. I've got a couple XP banks here, though I don't normally use them. Cactus farm here, sugarcane farm over there. Villager setup, very small over there. Passive mobs. And then this is a zombie spawner, and then up there somewhere is the skeleton spawner that I've been using primarily for my things. Killer Poke or Pokey? You decide. 900. Hello, welcome. How's it going? That does not help me. But welcome nevertheless, however you say your name. Okay. I think it's probably easier if I just say killer, and then we can... If there's another killer that comes in, then we'll all run for our lives and it'll be good. Yeah. Oh boy, that's a throwback. Oh, 900, that's even better. Now, if another 900 come in, that's going to be the biggest viewing that I've ever had. What a great movie. Indeed. Indeed. Well, that must have been, what, mid-90s? How old is that film? It's definitely old. $1997. My goodness. Time certainly flies. Oh, you're the only 900 in the entirety of Twitch. That's excellent. That will make things very simple. Does seem drastically unlikely, but I will take your word for it. The enchantments are not terribly OP. They're efficiency 5, unbreaking 3, silk touch mending, but we got the beacon. And haste 2. So we have Insta-Mind Stone. And I was actually kind of debating whether I should bring in MCMMO on this world, because I rather enjoyed using MCMMO on the Season 1 MC Legends server. It was something to work towards, but I find it is probably not really helpful. It's like ultimately it just gave me stuff more of the stuff that I really didn't need at that point. Like if you get to the point where you're level 1000 mining, you probably don't need extra anything. Well, only for, what, 60 seconds, 30 seconds at a time? Because Super Breaker doesn't last very long. Am I in a realm? No, I'm in a single-player world. This is just for me at the moment. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to make it a multiplayer server at any point, but it's a possibility. But that's something that I just have to figure out. While it would make some of this a little bit easier, it would take away that satisfaction of like, oh, I did this, you know? Good tune. Y'all listening to anything over there? I mentioned earlier in the stream, and I mentioned in the about panels that for multiple reasons I don't stream music. Ooh, sub emote. Well, I only have the one emote, so prepare to be disappointed. And it's kind of adorable pixel art that was made by one of my most ardent followers from way back when, listening to my sweet voice. Oh, that's adorable. But no, I'm listening to music. You should listen to music too. Yeah, the holy drink emote, the holy drink meme goes back to, I think that was Mercy that came up with that initially. Because Mercy was combining some of the default emotes to create like an angel wings around a soda can emote, and eventually we were just like, okay, bro, we got to get you a proper emote. And I think when he finally came back after I became an affiliate, I was like, okay, I'll gift you a sub so you can use this. Yeah, there you go. There you go. That was a long time ago, man. Because I think I've been streaming since February of 2019, and that was about when that meme started. Boy, it's been a long road. It's amazing how much drama you get from just sitting and playing video games. But there's drama. There's plenty of drama. Plenty of stories. Did I just get shot? Ugh. No respect. Should probably go and despawn those guys before they burn up. Probably despawn now. You got respect from... Oh, well, that's very nice of you. Very kind of you. Sadly, you aren't in my Minecraft world, so I can't expect you to not shoot me, which is really what I needed at that particular moment. Oh well. Yeah, I just noticed we're actually 7 away from 100 followers. It's taken me approximately forever to get there. But that'd be cool. That'd be cool to have. A little milestone. Oh, did you unfollow? Because we have 93 out of 100. Yeah, so it's 7 more. I'm very confused. What algorithm? What math are you doing over there? You doing some of that new math? Oh, yours say it's 92. It was 92 when we started. I think that the live update is probably not going to work for you. If you refresh, it might say 93, but on mine it says 93. It wouldn't make a lot of sense for it to go backwards. I mean, sometimes people unfollow. Not very often. Let's get some. Gotta hit the heart. Okay. I wasn't worried about that. Don't. Just, you do you. It's cool. It's cool. Oh, it's been an hour and 15 minutes. I should probably stretch here. Just at least stand up. Stretch the old legs. Shouldn't sit for long periods of time. It's bad for you. And I don't have the patience for a standing desk. Oh god, I tried a standing desk one time, like at an office. It's the worst. Yes. Oh yeah, where is that on that's on the profile, I guess. Yeah. Most of the time it doesn't end badly. Most of the time I'm pretty careful. Honestly, when I was trying to make things look pretty, that's when things ended badly. I mean, some of the time it worked out, but most of the time, just looked ugly. Alright, 395 is a little bit borderline. Let's get a new pickaxe. Down to 2 pickaxes. Oh my. These guys don't despawn. I should go get some milk before I kill them. Probably some extra arrows. I don't even care about these arrows. Those arrows can die. I think I have an empty bucket over here somewhere. There we go. Oh, I got a drink here. Yeah, no problem, Tips. I'm just chilling here. Die! Wait, where'd the rest of them go? Oh, they did despawn. The leader despawned. Since when? That shouldn't happen, right? Do I not understand how pillagers work? And it's entirely possible. Oh, for Christ's sake. Okay, I don't understand what pillagers do, how they work, but that's alright. Why don't I have these songs linked? Completely disorganized on my Spotify playlist. But yes, thank you for the water break suggestion. But I've got the water here. I just have to sip on it. I mean, it's carbonated water, but it's still tasty. Yeah, I've seen, I think, who is it? Impulse doing that? The Hero of the Village farm? It's a cool concept. I don't really want to get into that kind of gigantic infrastructure yet, though. I mean, I have a little bit of space, but the footprint of such a farm is pretty big, I think. At least vertically it is. And I just don't know how I want to structure the final form of my base. So I'm not really getting into big farm projects yet. Most of the stuff that I'm building is temporary. And I think probably if I was going to make a villager-powered farm, the first thing would be an iron farm, so that I'd have enough hoppers to make sorters for everything. So that's really been my limiting factor up to this point. Though honestly, it's not very limiting. Like, the amount that it limits me is very limited. It's very small. But even that is, you know, it would end up being probably fairly temporary because I don't know where all of that's going to go. So again, look at you mining right now. I think you're ready. Well, this is the thing. I have the capacity to do it, but if you look, let's look at my base here. Hold on. Let's just finish this quick. Damn coal ore. All right, let's look at my base here. So I've got. Okay, I could probably do this here. So I've got. Let's turn out the slime chunks. Chunks off. So I've got a sugarcane farm here, a zombie spawner here, a cactus farm here. I've got miscellaneous storage scattered through here. I've got an enchanting table here, XP banks, mob farm, crop farms, and passive mob farms down here, which are invisible. But, like, none of it is designed well. It's not, like, it doesn't mesh together, right? Like, in theory, I'd want everything to input into a main sorter that then is able to output to other farms. So, like, if I have, I don't know, an auto crafter or a semi-auto crafter, it'd be nice to be able to export what I need to, say, craft rockets or craft dispensers, droppers, observers, that sort of thing. But all of that is very, very much late stage end game. And I just don't see any reason to upgrade the systems that I already have at the moment. How long have I been playing? I've been playing Minecraft since... it's always hard for me to remember what the versions were. I want to say InfDev. I don't remember if that happened... I think that happened after beta. I think it went beta, InDev, InfDev, something like that. So that's how long I've been playing Minecraft. This world, I think, has 9 hours of playtime, or 9 days of playtime, sorry. 9 real-life days of playtime, and some of that is AFKing. What was I just doing? Sun going down? Sun's about to go down. But yeah, like, the name of this game, or the name of this world is GrindCraft. Like, oh, you've been playing MC for 5 years. Cool. Cool. So I think InfDev was 2010 or 11, so 9 or 10 years for me. And I believe I remember it being fall semester when we started playing. But yeah, AFK. AFK in a single-player world is a trip. But going AFK helps me get through some of the bigger sorting jobs that I have to do. Like when I was initially moving my storage into the sorter. As well as if I need to do, for example, like, well, it gets me more cactus, it gets me more sugarcane, passively. So that's good. And yeah, I'm thinking about, at the very least, moving this to a server, like, on my local area network, so that I can just have it running all the time, and probably move the spawn chunks to right here, so that all of this is always loaded, whether I'm logged in or not. It would certainly help. AFK is not safe. Yes, it is. AFK is safe if I'm here. This is my little panic room. All glass, iron door. Nothing can get me here. Nothing can get me there. Nothing can spawn on this glass floor anyway. The only problem I really have is Enderman. So Enderman will very frequently come by. Let's see if we can find an example of this. So this is all glass and bedrock. Nothing spawns on bedrock and nothing spawns on glass. Here we go. So an Enderman spawned somewhere, maybe in this wall, maybe in this wall. It picked up a piece of gravel and it came down and it left it here. Which means that a mob could spawn there. I once had an Enderman come over here And I don't know how unlikely this is, but it picked up this fence post and let all the cows out. That was a little bit annoying. So really my biggest threat to my safety is Endermen picking up and leaving blocks at random places. I'm really sick of it. So I might turn off the game rule that allows Endermen to do that if I make a server. We'll see. I might do that later today. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's some diamonds in the wall, but I'll get them when I get down to diamond level, you know. Like, I'm mining this all out anyway, and it's not like I'm short on diamonds. Like, the only thing I need diamonds for is creating diamond picks to enchant and then turn into netherite. My Enderman's some punks. The syntax of that is not working for me, but they are annoying. I think that's probably what you're saying, roughly. I'm having difficulty parsing it. Actually, is there in-game canon about Enderman? Maybe. I guess I wouldn't be able to tell. I'm wondering if the plural of Enderman is Endermen, or if it's Endermans like you just said. Yeah, they're scared of water, alright. That's one thing that I definitely considered, is just putting water everywhere, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, there's a way to turn off Enderman griefing, and I think that's probably what I'll do when I move it to a server. It's going to be better. That, and what's the other thing? Oh, I got to turn fire tick off. I have fire tick on for some reason. I mean, it doesn't really affect me. If I wanted to do... Nah, it doesn't really affect me. I'll just leave it on, what the hell. There's nothing that... Oh, for Christ, they're back. I just killed your friends by being far enough away from them. Will they chase me off the side? Are they that stupid? It's 40 blocks, roughly. 38 blocks to the floor. Maybe a little bit less. They'll definitely die. Come here, stupid. You missed me. Oh, that's not 38 blocks. Ow. Ah. Yeah. Yeah. Can't get bad omen this way. Oh wait, did the leader die? The leader died. So I can just snipe him now. Ow. Ah. Yeah, sometimes it's good to just have fun with this game. Just kill stuff. Ah, I missed. Oh, that was bad. Okay, die. 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 Thank you. Look at this. Look at this Enderman. He thinks he's too cool for school. Do I have Discord? I have Discord, yes, oh, for Christ's sake. I had a dedicated Discord for me for a while. That is really not active anymore. So I decided to take out the advertisement of it from my stream. There's also A couple other Discords that I'm in, but I don't really have one that's dedicated. Suppose I could probably put my username on, I don't even have Discord open. How silly of me. I'm gonna put my Discord, like, username in the, oh, no, that's... I don't need you guys PMing me. Nothing personal. Where am I? Right. Mining. Ow. I don't know. I do have my Twitter on listed in the stream info or whatever, in like the channel info. So if you wanna pester me, you can pester me there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really interested in getting into the Discord stuff. I just find that I don't use it very much, and it's just not useful. Six, yeah, it's 6. And it's hard to type a lot, is what you're saying? What's hard to type a lot? I mean, clearly it's hard for you to type the words a and lot, but that's a different thing. What is that? There's some kind of red dot on my Discord. It's a little bit disconcerting. Oh, it's probably the streamer mode. I hate it when it does that. It's like, we have enabled streamer mode for you. Like, I don't care. I am not stupid. I don't have my entire desktop streaming. I know how to configure OBS. I don't think you can turn it off, though. I think Discord just insists on doing it for you. Making a Discord account? It's like, I'm telling you that Discord is not the way to reach me. I'm on it, but I really just don't use it very well. Alright, 1 hour 35 in. It is now getting hot in my office. A Twitter account. Oh, okay. Cool. That clicking isn't annoying at all. I'm thinking now that I maybe didn't close the windows. So maybe my neighbors are a little bit confused as to why I'm talking to myself. Or have heard me ranting on various subjects and are a little bit offended. Either way, not my problem. Stupid gravel. Yeah, my Twitter account is a mix of me using it for personal and Minecraft, and actually I really don't talk about Minecraft or streaming very much on there. It's really mostly personal. If I'd been an intelligent human being, probably I would have used a different nickname or username for my Twitch account than I do for every other thing in my life. So that I can separate kind of the worlds, but it's way too late for that at this point. I'm just like, whatever, bring it on. And you know, I've had people say, "Oh, I'm send SWAT to your house," like just for me being on, not for, you know, me being a dick to them or anything, just because I am a person streaming on Twitch, and they think that that gives them license to be a douche. But like, if they actually cared to, and I'm sure that they actually don't, they could find out the city I live in, my first and last name. Probably it would take them a little bit harder, a little bit longer for them to figure out like what neighborhood I live in, but I'm pretty sure they could figure that out with publicly available information. So there's a lot that they could find. It's a little bit concerning, but I don't know. I gotta live my life. You can't live your life in fear. And honestly, random Twitch trolls, like, are far, far less scary than the reality. Like, the reality that we all live in these days, anyway. Like, random Twitch trolls, probably the worst thing they're gonna do is threaten me and then leave. Or threaten me and get blocked. Those are kind of the two options. But, real life, turns out, the government can just take you from the street for doing nothing. What's wrong with talking with your cat? My cat? Oh, chat. Oh, I see. Yeah, there's nothing in particular wrong with... Wait a minute, what? I'm really confused. So, I think there are two different things there. I appreciate, first of all, the sentiment that the trolls are haters. Yes, I understand. Probably not. Probably they aren't specifically, like, disagreeing with me or unhappy with me in any way. I think it's far more likely that these are people who have kind of a cowboy mentality, or they think of themselves as having a cowboy mentality, where they go around, you know, riding into town and messing with the locals. And they derive pleasure from doing that for some reason. And you know, there was one time when I had people come in and threaten to swat me. And I was shaky. I was freaked out about it. And I stopped the stream. Because I couldn't do it anymore. But, you can't let them do that to you. That's how they win. Because their goal isn't to actually swat you. Their goal is to unnerve you. Oh, but the second thing was you asking me what's wrong with talking to my chat. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't particularly have anything to say outside of the streams. And you know, I'm not like a huge streamer. Like, I mean, like I said, we've had a Discord There are probably 10 people in there still. Nobody's talked in 6 months. Yeah, I think somebody said Happy New Year. So, yeah, it's not like there's lively discussion happening there, and I don't particularly have any reason to make it lively. Like I said, I'm bad at Discord, so it's not something that I'm pursuing. And the Twitter thing is the same. It's like, I'm not super active there. I mostly use it to bitch about local political issues. So if you're really into St. Paul, Minnesota public policy, like, follow away. Whoever talked about you are the haters. Nobody really talks about me. Like I said, I'm not a huge streamer. Like, nobody really cares what I think. In fact, probably more people care what I think because of my extremely limited political influence in St. Paul than care about what I think because I'm a streamer on Twitch. And very few people care about what I think about politics in St. Paul. Oh, this is a good song. Oh, yeah, it's a cover. Oh, that is not displaying well on the screen. I wonder if I can fix that. Probably not. I guess I could. Whatever. What's my account on Twitter? There should be a panel down below the stream. That first of all, one that says other platforms that has a link, and then there's also, I think, a Twitter panel. If you're on mobile or something, I guess you know what? Whatever. I'll just do it. Hold on. There you go. And yeah, another indication of how active I am in general, I haven't posted on there since July 23rd, which is a completely accurate representation of how much I use Twitter. I have to be incredibly bored to use Twitter. Oh wait, no, maybe I replied to... Yeah, that's right, because somebody accused me of being a pedophile not 2 days ago. Right. So yeah, I'll reply to stuff sometimes. But I don't really post my stuff myself very often. Isn't the internet a wonderful place where people just accuse you of watching child pornography for no reason? Seems perfectly reasonable. Killer Poke 900. Cool. How to call? Call what? Well, thank you for the follow on Twitter. What does that make it for me? Like 10? Oh, 41. There you go. It's more than I thought. Oh no, Stone. I saved you. They just... Who's... Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, well, that's probably true. Again, I think that's just more like, oh, we're gonna get this guy kind of mentality. It's not about the individual. It's about just disrupting discourse. Give them the L, indeed. What were you saying about a call? You said how to call? I don't understand what you mean there. God, it's getting dark. Really hate this. When I'm up here and it's dark, things start to spawn. Then I have to despawn them. It just messes with my rhythm, guys. I don't know. It's frustrating. It's annoying. You don't know. Ow! You don't know how to work Twitter. Well, you followed me, which I think was the primary thing that you wanted to do, right? But you can't. I mean, maybe you can have a video. Like, I think you can live stream video, but you can't call people on Twitter. It's not what that's for. Oh, that's what you were talking about before. That's why you wanted Discord. Okay. It's all coming together now, but it's nothing personal. I don't want to have a voice chat at the moment. Excuse me while I make a lot of noise with aluminum cans. Try to make it, minimize it. Ah, that didn't help. Pick is gonna break. Nope, got a new one. See? Full durability. Ah, I gotta despawn. I'm sure I already screwed up somehow. Also, we're getting to the point where slime chunks are gonna become a problem on this dig. And I always hate it when that happens because it means I always have slimes. I really don't want slimes. We're about 2 levels away from that. So I either gotta decide right now to just destroy the slime chunks on their own right away, or what else? What else could I do? I don't even know. Or just live with the slimes, I guess. I think those are my only 2 options. Or maybe I just leave the slime chunks where they are for now. That seems like it's way more complicated, though. I think it's better to just destroy the chunks first, and then come back and do the rest later. Maybe I'll probably have to do a repair before I do that, though, so we get to stand in front of a skeleton grinder for a while, which I'm sure will be the highlight of everybody's day, as it will be the highlight of mine. But I think then we're going to do the slime chunks. Because, I mean, there's not a lot of them on this one. It's like, yeah, it's 4 plus the edge of this one. So we can pretty easily manage it with probably a couple of rounds of pickaxes. Probably don't need too much. But we'll just dig those out and put glass at the bottom. Done and done. Stupid mob drops. I don't know why I bother going into my inventory when I take a sip. I think it's just habit. Because usually when I'm playing, like for example, if I'm sitting in front of a skeleton grinder and I've got another window where I'm doing something, I'll like do this so I can get my mouse, and then I fire off, do whatever I'm doing in the other window, come back, and then come back. So I think it's just habit. After all these years, I'm just not used to it. And it's funny because like I have the pause on lost focus turned off, so it's not like when I move to a different window, I get a pause screen. But I always want to make sure. You can't unlearn stuff like that. I'm an old dog. I can't learn new tricks. Why am I trying to... It's daytime. Alright, so that was the last thing on that level. But the next level is safe. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Really? Is it 11 by 11? Huh, okay, that's easy. I'm gonna slab that quick before I forget about it, because I don't want things spawning on top of there. 11 by 11 is 121, which is 2 stacks of slabs minus 7. Or in the alternative, a stack of slabs and 57. So I need 9, 11 more. Better off just taking them from here. And I don't have a stone cutter, do I? Talk. Pretty sure this is the recipe. We'll see what happens. Ah, perfect. I'm actually gonna move this. So this trapdoor has been sitting on top of the smoker, preventing mob spawns for I don't even know how long, but now we've got a different way to prevent mob spawns, and it's actually useful. Alright. 11. Oh, I get 2 each, okay. Does that make sense? Yes. Got too many slabs, but that's okay. Now, I realize that there is iron ore here. Believe me when I say, I do not need more iron ore. Oh, and some of this overlaps with the slime chunk. That's interesting. That'll make things a little bit more funky. Not too much more funky, but a little bit more funky. Why am I breaking the big thing up there? The big thing up there. The big thing. Just this chunk, or? Very confused, as usual. The thing I'm on. I'm not breaking this. That's staying there. Unless you meant this thing over here. I'm not breaking that at all. I'm not breaking anything, in fact. The only thing I'm breaking is these rocks over here. Yeah, this thing is the skeleton grinder. That's not going anywhere. And this thing is the general mob farm, which is also not going anywhere. So they're both safe. And I was slabbing them. So that's been slabbed for a while, and I slabbed that one because that's going to stay there, and it's just a flat surface that mobs could spawn on, possibly reducing the efficacy of my normal mob spawner. So I try to prevent that when I can. It's also dangerous, obviously. So yeah, putting slabs on it isn't breaking it, it's making it more effective and safer. What? The area. I answered your question? Because yeah, I'm struggling to understand a little bit here and there. Ideally, I think in the future the spawners will both be enclosed in glass, and they will be dark because of a slab roof that is placed somewhere above them, rather than a full block roof. Partly so I can see what's happening, partly so there are fewer full blocks, solid blocks in the perimeter here. For the moment, though, it's really not a concern, because the effectiveness of the mob farm is more affected by the massive number of spawnable spaces than the number of solid blocks. So I really don't have to worry about it yet. Now, is this overkill for a skeleton grinder? Absolutely. My final plan for the skeleton grinder is completely overkill, and probably not as effective as I think it is, but I think it'll look cool, and I think it will be somewhat useful. And that's basically my threshold for doing anything. When I say look cool, it'll look cool to me. Can beta and PC play together? Okay, beta in PC. Nope, I'm lost. Minecraft beta was a very long time ago, so I'm pretty sure you're not asking about that. Unless you mean the beta version of the whatever's in the Windows software store, whatever that crap is. So I'm pretty sure that's not Java Edition, which is the version that I play. So maybe you're talking about a different game, or maybe the word beta is not meant to be the word beta. I don't know. Seems like the stream delay is a little bit high today. Oh no, it's actually relatively normal. Xbox. Oh, Xbox and PC? No, those two things cannot play together, because the game behavior is completely different. I think Xbox is Bedrock Edition. And Bedrock Edition, for example, Redstone behaves completely differently. I think you can move tile entities in Bedrock Edition, which is completely unfair. We should be able to do that everywhere. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. But like that basically means that yeah, you can't join a Java Edition server with the Xbox version. or vice versa. Though I think maybe the Xbox servers are just realms. I don't know. You're not on Bedrock. Okay. So... Wait, is Bedrock the mobile one? I can never keep it straight. Oh no, that is the console one. Okay, so now I'm confused again. Is like putting an Xbox inside of your PC box is probably not a great idea. I think it'll affect your performance. Xbox input. Maybe you're talking about an Xbox game that you purchase and play on the PC, which I think I've done with Sea of Thieves, so I know it's possible. But presumably that would be the Bedrock version of the game, either that or the Windows 10 edition, which I don't know what the difference is between that and Bedrock. And I don't know what other possibilities there are. Honestly, my experience with Minecraft has been 100% on Java Edition. So. Checking something here quick. Okay. Wondering if there's anybody we can kind of shut you guys off to when I am tired, but I don't see anybody online yet that's particularly exciting. So. Search it up, say Java and Bedrock. Java in Bedrock? Java and Bedrock are now on crossplay and can play together. Okay. We need to work on prepositions versus conjunctions, but apart from that, okay, so Java and Bedrock can now play together. That's interesting. I wonder if it's only on Realms, and that's the way that they maintain the compatibility. And I also wonder what changes to the game occur in which directions. So, like, do they disable... Like, basically the question is, are they running it on a completely different server architecture? Are they running it on a Java Edition server? Are they running it on a Bedrock server? The answers to those questions might completely change how things work. And I imagine it only happens on Realm, so you can't run your own server in crossplay, I bet. I'm willing to bet. Because, like, as much as the server does most of the calculations for redstone and pistons and so on, I'd imagine that the client has to do kind of educated guesses as to what's going to happen just to make the rendering faster. Which is why you run into ghost blocks a lot of the time. Like, if the client thinks that you broke a block and the server says, nope, 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 nope. But, yeah, I don't know how that would behave. I don't know. I'm sure Mojang have figured it out. They're rocket scientists over there, but you know. Well, I mean, feel free. I'm just mostly just wondering out loud. I don't really need to know. Oh, I like this. Alright, weather report. It's still hot. I don't like it. I don't like the heat at all. Still don't have AC in my house, which is a problem. We're heading into a heat wave here. It's only going to go downhill from here. I thought I saw a pillager. Stupid bat. Ow. Says you need Windows 10 to join Bedrock. Well, I'm out of luck then. Wait, Windows 10 version of Minecraft? Or just Windows 10, the operating system? Because you said before that Java and Bedrock can play together. But I have Java, and I don't have Windows 10. Uh-oh. Windows 10 edition of Minecraft, yeah. Okay, so backtracking a bit. So Java, well, that's okay because the Windows 10 edition is Bedrock. That is the Bedrock version of the game. No. Those are two different things. Windows 10 Edition is a Bedrock version of the game that's purchased in the Microsoft App Store, or whatever they call it. The Java edition of the game is downloadable from Mojang's website, and it runs in Java, as opposed to C#. I think it's C#. But I run Java edition on Linux. And it's interoperable with Java edition on every other platform. But it's not interoperable, as far as I know, with Bedrock. And I can think of no good reason why you would need Windows 10 specifically to connect to a server of any kind. Which is not to say that people don't try. Am I spawning things? Not yet. Soon. Sleep fast. Nah, it's too slow. Despawn them! Despawn them quickly! Okay, it should be despawned. Or not. Man, that guy's a survivor. Oh, he's got an item. Sneaky bastard. Let me get rid of some items. We're gonna make some more rockets because I used a bunch of them. Oh, perfect. Ow. Why do I do this to myself? Just fly around bopping my head into things. All right. Excuse me. Realms are not just Bedrock, they are on Java too. Bedrock and Java don't crossplay. PC players need Windows 10 edition to play with Bedrock players. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Windows 10 edition is Bedrock. The other one said it can't. Okay, so we have conflicting accounts. Not clear who said what about what. Is any of this from the Minecraft wiki? Would that be too easy to have a Minecraft wiki answer? Windows 10 edition. Windows 10 edition is the former title of Bedrock Edition for the Universal Windows 10 platform developed by Moe. Okay, so again, Windows 10 edition is Bedrock. Okay, Bedrock Edition. Clicking on that. Crossplay? The multiplayer mode is cross-platform compatible between all supported devices. Hold on. Yeah, okay. I am completely satisfied with the concept that you cannot do crossplay. I am absolutely satisfied. And I think that the burden of proof is now on anybody who claims that you can, because you can't. They're completely different server architectures. It's just not going to work. No, there's not. There is absolutely not. It's just not true. Uh-oh. Whoa. Stream just blew up a little bit there. That was interesting. I didn't drop any frames. Might have just been my connection to Twitch's servers freaking out. I don't know. Excuse me, guys. What a band name. I am Spartacus. Lucky you're not Bedrock. Well, I mean, yes and no. Like I said, there are differences, and some of them are good, some of them are bad. Oh right, we're out of pickaxes. So let's go and grind some skeletons. Should probably block this off, actually. It's probably not worth it. So yeah, welcome to my my esteemed skeleton grinder, and this is gonna be our life for a while. But maybe we should talk about something. What do we have to talk about? What's going on? I feel like there's something going on. Just imagine. Yeah, I'm imaging it now. Wait, imagining? Hard to say. I'm trying to think of what else there is to talk about at the moment. I mean, we've got 116.2 coming out soon. That's not really news. There's not a lot coming out in that release. 117 is probably what. Oh wait, when did 116 come out? It came out like May. So we probably don't get 117 until what, November. Is that right? It's gonna take a while. I am finding that out, yes. Well, here, this is how you're supposed to spell it, so that you know next time. You can think of it as an image. It's an I, as opposed to an ah. That is the word. And I admit 100% to being intentionally obtuse about things when people misspell a word. It's nothing personal. I think that a little bit of obstinance is a powerful motivator for people to learn. And you know, I'm happy to give you the word. I'm happy to help you spell the word. And you can also look things up. The internet's a wonderful place. You can find a lot of interesting information. That doesn't sound right. Focus on the dictionary stuff as opposed to the rest of it. Oh, actually, we can talk about this. So there was yeah, that is the whole. Yeah, this is the skeleton grinder. So yeah, we can talk about this. There was this podcast recommendation that I got a few days back. Don't we all? This podcast recommendation I got a few days back. A podcast called The Rabbit Hole, or just Rabbit Hole. It's a podcast from the New York Times, which, by the way, the New York Times podcast productions have become fantastic. They've really stepped up their game. I don't know if it's like recording uh, tools or anything. It just seems like the editing has stepped up a little bit since I used to listen to the Daily, I think every day, um, probably 2 years ago. Um, but Rabbit Hole is an 8-part kind of a mini series about sort of a series of topics, including, um, well, primarily focusing on YouTube as sort of a conduit for radicalization, and how the users, like people who watch the videos, how the people who record the videos, and the how the company, like YouTube, the company, have kind of dealt with this problem of radicalization. You're getting blasted with notifications. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so this podcast basically just explores this very complicated world of radical, either alt-right or what some of them call alt-light videos, as well as some of the leftist YouTube community that tries to combat what's happening on the alt-right, um, and then starting to explore some of the effects of that, including looking at PewDiePie's rise to power, and ultimately the shooting in Christchurch, which somebody said subscribe to PewDiePie, like somebody said subscribe to PewDiePie, and then went in and shot up a bunch of people. And like talking about the ramifications of that, sitting down with PewDiePie to get his reaction, and there's just so many different facets to it. And it's fascinating. I mean, I don't know that I have any conclusions from this, but it's a whole world that, if you're not, already watching some alt-right folks, like, you're not going to get the notifications to go and watch these more extreme videos. So it's fascinating. Get the bows back in there, taking chance off them, and then add them to my bow. No, my bow has mending. It has power 5, flame, punch 2, and breaking 3. This is the most powerful bow that you can have. I don't need another. I don't need any more enchantments. No, thank you. No, thank you. I have a grindstone. It's more trouble than it's worth. So, what was I saying? I feel like I had something else to say about this. Oh, right. So the final 2 episodes were an exploration of how QAnon came to be, basically. Like, it was this evolution of from the presidential election onto Pizzagate, something like that, and then just a series of weird events. And yeah, the devotion to it is really amazing. I mean, I think the internet has seen a lot of different stages of people, like, finding maybe not completely wholesome communities, but communities that nonetheless feel like family. I mean, a lot of us here on Twitch do that. Maybe this is a little bit more wholesome than QAnon, but we're here bonding over something that nobody would expect us to be bonding over, even 10 years ago. Well, maybe 10 years. Maybe not. Probably not 20 years ago, though. Mute for a second while I move my chair. Yeah, that was loud. All right. And I see that my universal Shortcut does not override the map shortcut. That's helpful. Anyway, anything else to say on this rabbit hole podcast? I don't think so. Yeah, I can't think of anything in particular. Well, is there anything else? I guess my next one is one called "Nice White Parents" that I saw. It was advertised in the Rabbit Hole podcast, so I'm excited to give that a try as well. But yeah, I maybe need some time off here. It's a lot of dense material. F. Alright. This is taking forever. Seriously, this is still the first pickaxe. I feel like it doesn't usually take this long, but it probably does, and I just don't notice it because I'm not doing anything else. I'm just sitting here, like, watching a YouTube video, and it's like, whatever. It can take however long it needs. Well, okay, I guess I don't care about the chair noises anymore. And I'm trying to think of what else is going on in the world these days we can rant about. We can chat about, or whatever. Oh, we got a primary here in Minnesota on Tuesday. That's exciting. There's pretty interesting primary challenges from some newcomers in my district. Statewide races, not so much. But it's interesting. It's interesting to look at some of the challengers coming in the primaries. I don't know if I've even looked at the GOP nominees or contestants in the primary. But I'd imagine that they have very little competition here. This is a pretty deep blue district. Keep going to the story, it sounds good. What story? The podcast? I think I pretty much covered it. I mean, it's 8 episodes, and they're each half an hour. Like, I listened to it in a day. Anyway. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the primary brings. I'm sure we're going to have some upsets. I think that a lot of the endorsed DFL candidates here in Minnesota, our Democratic Party is named DFL, Democratic Farmer Labor. I think some of the DFL candidates are going to get ousted. Because I think there's a fair amount of anger at establishment Democrats right now, both in the cities and elsewhere. It'll be interesting. And I say this 900 without necessarily knowing if you're in the U.S. and care about this, but it's something that I like talking about at least a little bit here and there. And going into 2021, I'm going to have a very interesting time of local politics, because we're likely to have, I imagine we're likely to have at least a couple of special elections for city council and a mayoral race here in St. Paul. Because, well, the rumor that I hear is that at least one of the city council members wants to run for mayor and challenge the incumbent DFL mayor. And all the city council members are DFL, whether they like it or not, basically. So I think at least one of them was probably going to resign and run, and one of them might stay on the city council and run, which will lead to a lot of chaos, as St. Paul politics usually tends to descend into extreme chaos. Seriously, what is wrong with the... Wait a minute. Trying to figure out where this skeleton is. Okay, that looks like he didn't spawn from the spawner. I'm trying to figure out why my spawner's rates seem lower. That's probably fine. There are a lot of mobs outside, but it shouldn't affect the spawner. Let me try despawning these guys. There's like 100 mobs outside. So now there's some spawning in caves, that's okay. There's some spawning in the spawner. Still doesn't look great. Okay, I think it's also going to be fairly interesting because next year in Minneapolis, just across the river, we're going to have all of the city council members, I think, are up for re-election, and the mayor's up for re-election. Because here in St. Paul, we kind of stagger it so that the city council runs in the year before a presidential election, and the mayor runs in the year after. So it's kind of split up, so everybody's not running at once. But in Minneapolis, it all happens at once. So, and it'll be really interesting to see, because the response by city leadership to what happened in May with George Floyd, the murder of George Floyd by the police, was, I think a lot of people feel it was lackluster, the way that they responded to the calls for reform, and I think a lot of people thought it was lackluster, the way that the mayor in particular, but a lot of people responded to the rioting. I think that, yeah, there's a lot of anger coming from a lot of different angles towards a lot of the city officials over there, and I have no idea what's going to happen. It's going to be great to watch, but I am not going to involve myself whatsoever in that. I'm going to have fun with it. Water break? Well, I only have Sprite right now. But I'll finish it off. Ow! That's my toe. That hurt. That hurt quite a bit. Whew. Okay. Alright, Sprite done. I'll get some carbonated water. So we can have a proper water break. I'm sure that was noisy. I just put this in this morning. It's nice and cold. It's great. My toe's fine. I just kind of snagged it under my UPS, which, I don't know. Yeah, it feels fine now. Why is XP so hard? Maybe we should expand the cactus farm. That's really my main, like my primary source of renewable XP. Especially XP I don't have to sit around and wait for. If I can have a nice big cactus farm, it's going to help everything. But I'd have to do work for that. You see why I call this GrindCraft. Like, this is something that I'm perfectly happy to do most of the time. Like, sit here and repair pickaxes. Slow as you like. Usually watching YouTube videos or listening to podcasts or playing some other game in the background. All kinds of things that we could be doing here. But instead, we're just going to sit here and stare at each other, I suppose. And I think by this stage in the game, if you're watching a traditional playthrough, professional or something, a lot of people would have like a Blaze Farm or an Ender or a Pigman Farm. Possibly good cactus banks, really big ones. For me, it's not a priority, because I can do this. Works fine. I could use wolves to kill the skeleton. Yep. And it would give me XP. But I'd have to catch a wolf. I'd have to get them in position. I'd have to probably hook up some kind of healing potion, splash healing potion system, which takes some work. Not to say it's impossible, it's just, it takes some work. I mean, this isn't even a drop, a drop trap at this point. It's just a normal, like, you can see the, maybe see the, oh, you can't. I was gonna say you can maybe see the water up there, but it's like 3-4 blocks above me. It's not very far. So this is the absolute scrub of skeleton farms. Yeah, the the healing potions aren't for when they get shot. The healing potions are for when the skeleton has Thorn's armor. You can prevent the wolf from getting hit by the arrows, but you can't prevent the wolf from getting hit by the Thorn's armor. a good tune. Great band, too. I wish I had more from them. I don't think they've put out another album recently. I might take a look, though. No, I think there's another band with the same name that I see every once in a while. Possibly a couple of different ones. But this is their 2015 album. And then they had a 2013 debut, I think. But there were only 5... Wait, there are only 5 songs in each one? Huh. Fascinating. I thought there was more. In any case. Aspire, cool band. Can I do you a fav? Depends on the fav. Suspense is killing me, honestly. I'm not smoking. This is a vape pen. And yes, I agree, smoking is indeed bad for you, which is why I'm trying to quit, which is why I have this. It's been a very slow process, and I have failed a lot, but I am trying. But that is not as bad for you. It's not good for you, but it is moderately less harmful, and it's easier to start weaning yourself off of the nicotine habit, which is why I have it. And I'm not saying start vaping. I'm not saying start smoking. Be very clear about that. I'm pretty clear about that every time I talk about this thing. Smoking is a terrible habit. It's gross, and yes, it's bad for you. And this gets you addicted to nicotine if you smoke with nicotine. If you vape with nicotine. So don't do that either. But as a tool for quitting smoking, I find this particularly helpful. I think I talked about that in another stream at some point. Those replays are long gone by now. And yeah, it's an interesting... I agree. It's not as harmful. That's what I said. But it's an interesting thing to note, like the... I mean, you hear a lot of talk about abstinence-only education in the context of, like, health class, right? But it's also something that we've practiced as a country when it comes to addiction, where... like not just in a sexual education class, but also in a context where people are talking about addiction to alcohol or other drugs. For the longest time, our strategy was just say no or something similar, and smoking too. And while that has some level of success, it's not real education about what the addiction is, what causes it, and that leads to problems for people. Like, I started ingesting nicotine with a product that I didn't realize had nicotine in it. That's how things can start. It can be insidious. And that's tricky. And the attitude towards addiction, especially in the United States, again, I don't know if you're in the United States, but in particular in the United States, is largely, well, you should just stop doing that. But that's not how addiction works. I mean, ask any alcoholic, ask any addict of any kind. You don't just stop doing something like that. It's like losing a part of yourself. There have to be stages. And it's complicated. And this isn't me saying, excuses or anything. It's just me trying to explain what's going on. And kind of expound a little bit on what's happening. Not just with me, but with a lot of people. Finally, 2 done. Yeah. And I'm not used to it, which is why I cough. It's not that it's hurting me. But yeah, just as a comparison, I've been streaming for almost 3 hours now. I probably would have had, at the very least, 4 cigarettes in this time. Instead, I've been sitting here, taking occasional puffs from the vape, and mostly fine. I'm maybe a little bit twitchy, but I'm not irritable, really. Well, I'm not more irritable than normal. Yeah, I don't know that I ever thought about the parallels between abstinence-only sex education and what notifications. What notifications are you getting that's making you physically hurt? Because that really shouldn't be the case. It seems like you should turn those notifications off. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have had to turn a lot of the notifications for Discord off. That just gets noisy, especially like I was in a lot of servers that I just didn't care about. So for the most part, I turned off the notifications, and then I realized I just shouldn't be in those servers anymore. Like, I just didn't need to be there. I don't think I get any notifications on YouTube. I mostly just go to the subscriptions page and watch things from there rather than get notifications. I probably get going live notifications, but that's about it. Freaking hair, hold on. Get this stuff out of my face. Look at the XE side losses. Sidways. Sideways. Yep. Sidewasses. No, it's fun. It's fun. I make a little bit of fun of you, but it's fun. It's fun. And it's okay. I do understand what you're saying all the time. I do. I just have fun with it. And it's not because I feel like I'm superior or anything. Like, it's just fun. I like playing with language. Like, this is, like, one of my favorite types of humor is puns. Because it's playing with language in a fun way. Let's play on a realm. Well, I don't have a realm, and you probably don't. If you're on Xbox, I can't play with you. We've gone over this, man. Okay. Go give me a code. What does this code do? Does it launch the nukes? Launch the nukes! You're not on Bedrock. Well, if you're playing on Xbox, you are on Bedrock. That's... yeah. Put me in the realm. So... Okay, so you're gonna give me a code. It will put me in the realm. It won't launch the nukes? You sure? There are 2 different versions. Okay. You're not on Bedrock. Okay. You know, it's been an hour and 45 minutes since I stood up, so I should probably do that. Ugh. Excuse me for a moment. I might be a little bit quieter. Gotta keep the circulation going. Oh yeah. Got a lot of circulation now. Ooh. I want to play a PvP realm. No, I do not. I do not like PvP in Minecraft. Can't we all just get along? Or... Yeah, more... I guess to expand on that a little bit, I'm a firm believer in if you're going to play on a multiplayer server, you should play together. You shouldn't play against each other. I mean, sure, Minecraft has that capacity, but I don't think that's what Minecraft is for. That's not how I play Minecraft, rather. I think it's an opportunity to show what people can accomplish together, and PvP doesn't work towards that goal. I shut off the server? Oh, do you have like a trial realm? Yeah. Yeah, they do that. It's expensive running those servers, man. Oh, you can't see my durability. So you have, yeah, okay. You can see that it's mostly repaired. So we got 3 more to go after this one. Getting there slowly but surely. Garbage mob drops. I still haven't said I wanted to. I still haven't said I want to play with you. I just want to be clear before you pay for a server. I'm probably not going to join you today. I'm pretty invested in this single player world at the moment. Oh, it's too late. Alright. Hold on. Let's go. Yeah, let's go Big Mark. I'm gonna join this. You're taking the PC. Okay. You'll be here next stream. Well, I don't know when the next stream is gonna be, but okay. Well, I don't see a place to put in. I don't see a place to put in a code like that, so I'm pretty sure you're on Bedrock. Just gonna say that. And we're back. And I remember having to share a computer with my brother. It was hell. Can't even imagine. And now, like, there's so much more that you have to do on a computer. Sharing it, ugh. It's crazy. It's crazy that we've progressed so far in, like, what we use technology for, how we use it, what it can do. But, like, the concept of how parents and children kind of negotiate about screen time and stuff, like, it's barely evolved. It's barely changed. Like, depending on what you're doing on the computer, like, maybe you need more. Maybe you need more time. Maybe you need less time. Who knows? Like, you should probably teach, like, this is a tool. Use it as a tool. Use it when you need it. But teaching, you know, you only have a certain amount of time. It's not realistic, really. I don't know the situation there, though. So I can't, you know, place blame or fault. Well, it continues being incredibly boring to grind skeletons for XP. How long have we been doing this? Probably half an hour at least, right? I'll have to look at the replay and check that, but I'm sure it's been at least a half an hour. My camera's not angled right. Or it's cropped. I should probably scooch this up a little bit. Ah, there you go. Now you can see the top shelf. Top shelf is the most fun shelf. That's where my toys are. It's a good song. Oh, I'm getting pings. Pings. Okay. Nothing of great import on the notifications. Not surprising. Oh my gosh. I am sleepy. I had plenty of caffeine. I don't know what's wrong with me. I mean, I know that there are a lot of things wrong with me, but I don't know what is causing me to be so tired. Two more after this one. Getting there very, very slowly. Yeah, so I guess riffing off of what 900 said on his way out, on their way out, I should say. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna keep streaming. I wanted to come back and kind of say some words, and I guess now this is me saying more words, but I just, as much as I like hanging out with folks and talking and meeting new people, I'm never quite sure. I'm just not quite sure I want to come back, you know? I mean, Twitch streaming is something that I feel like you can always do. You can always just kind of come around and do it. But I don't feel the need to necessarily come and do this full time. I mean, I was never doing it full time. I don't feel the need to do this regularly on a schedule. I mean, maybe I can come back and do this every once in a while. Either if I have like a specific project I want to work on, we can stream for like a few hours. Something that's maybe a little bit more structured than me having to repair my repair my picks in the middle. But yeah, I don't know if just streaming everything that I do in this world is going to work very well. I don't know. This is part of my problem, my perennial problem with Twitch. It's like, it doesn't feel like you're making a lot of progress when you're kind of sat here in like the maybe low, the mid-low range, something like that. Like, you're an affiliate, but you aren't moving up very fast, right? Like, you could either build a brand, really focus on it, and promote yourself a lot, maybe get 1,000 followers, maybe get a few subscribers, maybe get some bits here and there. And you're not going to make money off. Like, I was never going to make money off of that, and I decided that pretty early on, but you don't grow a community either. Not without consistency, first of all, and a lot of promotion. And you're probably going to want a much better brand as well, which isn't something that I care to cultivate. So, if I do Twitch regularly, or if I do Twitch at all, I have to come, to grips with the fact that I'm probably never going to be bigger than I am right now. And that's okay. I think that I can come to grips with that. I think that I can accept something like that. So then the question becomes, what am I trying to do with Twitch? Like, if it's not building a community bigger than it is right now, what am I doing? Showing people Minecraft? People know about Minecraft already. So that's not it. Am I, showing people how I play Minecraft? Well, that's not very interesting, because my way of playing Minecraft is pretty stupid. Social commentary? People don't watch Minecraft streams for social commentary. There are news streams for that. There's talk shows. There's a lot of stuff. But it's not me. It's not my channel that you come to. I don't know. Excuse me. I mean, I know you don't all come here for my decor choices, and I don't build anything particularly interesting. I don't have any particularly interesting techniques. So yeah, what am I doing? Self-edification? Self-aggrandizement? I don't know. Well, I got a little bit deep. Maybe too deep. I mean, I suppose the ultimate situation is this is something that I do for fun, and I do have fun doing it. I do have fun kind of talking to folks and playing Minecraft. Certainly something I enjoy, so sure. Not a problem whatsoever. Now, that being said, there's a likelihood that I'll only do this on some combination of Friday, Saturday, and Monday. I have existing engagements on other nights. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the next stream is. I don't know. And like, if you're thinking about projects that I might do, I mean, apart from just digging, which is fun for me, maybe less fun for you, we could expand the sorter, we can build a slime farm, we can expand cactus or sugarcane farms. There's all kinds of options. I don't know what's best. More notifications. Yawn. Uh-oh. Oh, my preview just stopped. That's fine. And I'm back. I get distracted there, but... Oh, and that one's repaired. Alright, on to the next one. It's just an endless stream of pickaxes to repair. Really gotta fix this chair. I swear, I bought WD-40 probably 6 months ago, at the longest, or at the earliest. Wait, no, that's not the word. Whatever. Anyway, at least 6 months ago. Just haven't used it. Thing squeaks every time I go back in my chair. It's hilarious. It's a testament to how lazy I really am. Well, 900's right. It's not good for you, but that vape sure do taste good. Sure do taste good. I really gotta come up with something else I can do on the side here while I do this. I was thinking I might play, like, practice around a bridge, but I don't know. I'd have to set up a window capture. Is there any chance that won't break the entire universe? No. I doubt that there is any chance. Can I do studio mode in this? Yeah, I can. So in theory, is this live or is this live? Oh, I see. Okay, so if I do this, for example. No, not that. That doesn't actually switch it, right? No. So I can make a new scene and work on this separately. And experiment. Duplicate. Bridge. Alright, so if I'm on the bridge scene, and I change because this is the same window capture that I've got in the other one, so I gotta remove that. And then if I start up my bridge game, alright, this is some live video magic here. This is fun. Window capture. Trickster cards. Oh, that's not gonna work. Yeah. Why is this so difficult? Shouldn't be this complicated. I should probably kill some skeletons. Hold on. Okay, so what if I change the... What if I change the settings? Hold on. Let's just remove this. Yeah. Window capture, use existing. No, that's stupid. I'm just gonna remove this scene. It's just a stupid scene. So if I change the settings of this window capture. Oh, that's gonna screw it up. Okay. Does this work? No. Can I fix it? Yeah, okay, so that works fine. Alright. Let's try something different. So if I remove this, yeah, and I create a screen capture. Nope, that one. Okay. So then I could... So complicated, God. Why is it so complicated? So I've got the game up. If I wanted to crop this, do I just resize it? No, that'd be too easy. There we go. Just crop out the edges of the screen. Alright. This is feasible. Kill some skeletons. I mean, I think at this point it's kind of silly because I've got a pickaxe and a half to repair, so maybe it's not worth it. But let's transition quick. You know, no, this is stupid. I'm not going to play Bridge on stream. Okay. So much garbage in my inventory. Well, this is definitely motivating me to get a better XP repair system. Either by getting some bottles of experience, bottles of enchanting from the clerics that I've got, and expanding my villager infrastructure, or by expanding the cactus farm and getting some more XP banks up and running there. Not sure which of those I'm going to end up doing, but I'm sure by the next stream I'll probably have a solution of one kind or another. I think at this point, though, I'm starting to realize that it's going to take me a little bit more time to finish this, and I basically wanted to quit at 4 hours, but I might as well just quit now, because this is just going to be more of the same. So I might stop the stream here. Yeah, I'm going to stop the stream here. So, appreciate y'all hanging out with me, a few of you who did. It's been fun. It's been fun. I've learned some things. I think I'm going to alter some things in the Minecraft world at least. I liked ranting a little bit, talking about some issues of the day, random issues. Anytime y'all want to talk about stuff, shout it out in the chat. I got no problem. You know, addressing concerns of yours, thoughts that you might have had, getting into philosophy, debate, policy, whatever. And let's see, is there anything else? I don't know. I probably won't be live tomorrow. I might be live on Monday. It's up in the air. Mondays are slow for me at work, so it might be okay, but I don't know. I like to have my evenings if I can. So I imagine there's a pretty good chance I won't be back on Monday. Probably the earliest you'll have me back is Friday. Actually, probably not even Friday. Probably this is going to have to be only a Saturday thing. There's a good chance that this is only going to be on Saturdays that I stream. So, on that terrible disappointment now. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this goes, and maybe I can up the frequency a little bit, but I doubt it. Anything else going on? I don't think so. I think I'll call it quits here. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you next time.